What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kid Love. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So usually I hit you with some plant-based recipes, but today I'm doing something a little different. But before we get into it, I gotta hit you with a disclaimer. I am not a licensed health professional in any kind of way. Everything that I share with y'all in this video is due to my own personal research, opinions, beliefs, experience, or whatever. Okay, I'm not a licensed health professional. So before you do anything in this video, seek the proper expert for professional advice, okay? And I also dropped the disclaimer below. Boom. All right, y'all. Now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and get into it. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to know why did I stop buying deodorant. Y'all, I'm not kidding. I have not bought deodorant in over a year, maybe like a year to a year and a half. Between that time frame, I have not bought deodorant. Now, there's going to be two parts to this video. And what I mean in this same video, there's two parts just to let you know. So I'm going to start off with letting you know why I don't buy deodorant anymore. And then I'm also going to tell you what I do instead. So let's go ahead and get into it. You know, I got to start you off with some basics because I do like to be as helpful as possible. So let me just start you off with some basics that we may think we already know. So let's get into it. So what is deodorant? Deodorant controls body odor. That's the purpose of deodorant, is to control body odor. Now, what is antiperspirant? The reason why I say what is antiperspirant, because these days they're combined. These days, deodorant contains antiperspirant, so naturally we use those terms interchangeably, but technically they're two different things. Deodorant is used to control body odor. Antiperspirant is used to prevent sweating. Now, it sounds like a good thing, but the problem is our body is already smart enough. God has already designed our body with the systems that it needs to help protect us. So the thing is, our body, God created our body to naturally know what to do to heal itself and things like that. But what we consume, not just food, but anything, whether it's hair products, body products like lotion and things like that, food, bad habits like smoking and all these things, those actually interfere with our body's natural detox system. So we're either making it work harder, we're breaking it down, and we're going against it. So what you consume is either going against your body or you're working with it. One of the two, right? You're either working against it or you're working with it. Now, so the problem, like I said, with antiperspirant is because it's blocking one of our natural detox systems, which is sweating. Where do we sweat through? We sweat through our skin. Our skin is the largest organ that we have, and it's actually the first line of defense against pathogens. The skin plays a major role in our detox process, and the body detoxing is just one of the ways that our body helps protect us, and sweating is one of those detoxing processes. So we don't want to prevent it from happening. Sweating is actually a good thing. Now, I'm talking about in general, y'all. There are certain key situations where sweating is actually a red flag that something else is going on, but we're just saying in general, sweating is a good thing. It actually detoxifies our body. It removes toxins. It increases blood circulation. It unclogs pores. It controls our body temperature. So we don't want to stop our body from doing what it needs to do to help protect us. So now it's like, okay, well, what can we do? Because I don't want the body odor. Well, first of all, what starts the body odor process is actually the things that we're consuming and eating, but I'm not even going to get deep into that with this video. Why did I stop buying deodorant is because, if you don't know, the reason why I got into this whole plant-based lifestyle is because I was learning how to heal the body from the inside out, like really understanding the ingredients that I'm putting into my body. And on that journey, I started to learn other things about our body and what can cause harm to it. And deodorant is one of those things. Now, I discovered that deodorant contains harsh chemicals, harsh ingredients and synthetics that actually can cause harm to our body. Now, this is based on my research, y'all, that it can cause things like cancer, Alzheimer's, disrupt hormones, cause reproductive issues, kidney disease, and just to name just a few of them, right? So I'm like, when I discovered that, I'm like, well, that's a problem because we use deodorant every day. Like, basically, like in general, most of us use deodorant every day. Most of us see deodorant as a necessity, right? So I'm like, if it's going to cause those problems, that can't be okay for our body. And then learning about our body and our natural detox systems along the way, I'm like, we're actually interfering with it. So I decided in 2020 to switch from using my traditional deodorant to using a natural brand deodorant. So I was still buying it from the store, but I decided to switch to a more natural one, a company that presented itself to care about the type of ingredients that's in it and removing some of those harsh things. Now, If you don't know, I did do a review on Native. That is the deodorant that I switched to. I switched to Native. I no longer use that either. So when I say that I stopped buying deodorant, I don't use that either. But I'm just telling you my journey. I went from finding out deodorant can cause harm to, okay, let me use a more natural one. That could be a little better. The reason why I stopped using Native at the time is because it stopped working for me. That is the only natural deodorant that I ever bought. And I just didn't have no interest in buying another one, honestly. So, it was great while it worked, but then it stopped working. It was great while it worked, but then it stopped working. So I decided to try something else. And I decided to, for those of y'all that want to know what I do, now what I do is I make my own deodorant. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, making my own deodorant has been a game changer. And let me tell y'all something. Ever since I've been using my own deodorant, I'm not going back, y'all. My body loves it. Y'all, it's way more affordable. You're going to see you can make way more than you can. It's way more cost effective than you can continuing to buy the deodorants that's in the store. You know what's in it. You know what ingredients you're putting in it. You also control your scents that you want it to smell like. And also, y'all, it's just, my body has become less dependent on deodorant. My body has become less dependent on deodorant. When I say that, y'all, I can go a few days without using my natural deodorant, and there's no smell. Now, I'm so serious, y'all. And even after those few days, it's not like a boom, all of a sudden musk comes. No, y'all, it's still one of those, like, it's not even like a, is that me moment? It's not even that. When I say I can go a few days, I can probably go even longer. It's just like, I have to think about it like, should I put it on? Should I not? But I'm not even kidding. Now, let me say this. Do I think you can get your body to a point where you don't need deodorant at all? Yes, I believe that. I know two raw vegans that actually do not use deodorant. And I believe that because raw vegan is, like, in my opinion, the cleanest way that you can eat. Your body is thriving and doing what it needs to do because you are giving it the fuel and the support that it needs to do what it does best, right? So I am not surprised when they say that they don't even use deodorant. I'm not surprised at all, honestly, y'all. You know why? Because the body odor comes from what you're consuming. Yeah, anyways, y'all. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that they don't use deodorant because I'm telling you, my body has become less dependent on deodorant since making my own. And on top of that, just to let you know that my natural deodorant, my natural deodorant recipe that I use works. I live in Texas, y'all. Scorching hot Texas, one of the hottest states. If you know, you know, okay? And I have family that don't want to even come back and visit because they were like, we can't do that. We can't do that type of heat. It's different. It's different out there. They came to visit and they said they're not coming back, and they have not been back in over 10 plus years. So y'all, I live in one of the hottest states. Now, when I started making my natural deodorant, I started in the wintertime. So for me, the true test was in the summertime, y'all, and I got through it with flying colors. On top of that, another video that I did, it was when I went to the Vegan Fest, right? I went to a vegan fest. I was outside in the scorching heat. I'll drop that link below in case you're interested in that. It was my first vegan festival, right? Y'all, in Houston, Texas, humid, hot Houston, Texas, okay? Just to be clear, for those of y'all that know, I'm gonna throw that out there, right? 105 degrees that day, right? It was 105 degrees that day, which really isn't super hot in Texas, but it was scorching hot outside, y'all. We get worse. But anyways, it was scorching hot. It was 105 degrees. I'll drop that video below in case you're interested. It was my first vegan fest. And let me tell y'all something. I was outside for 5 hours straight with my homemade deodorant that I had on. I did not reapply it. It was what I put on at the beginning of the day. I did not get home until like 3 in the morning. I didn't get home till like 3 in the morning because later that day we ended up going out or whatever. Y'all, I was good. No must, no nothing. So that day I was like, okay, for sure. Like, this thing is where it's at. Like, making this deodorant is where it's at. I'm telling y'all, it works. I don't think I made this clear, but I've been using my homemade deodorant for a little over a year, maybe a year to a year and a half. So I'm telling y'all, this ain't something new that I'm doing and just like, y'all, hope it works. No, it works. It works. But anyways, y'all, I hope y'all find that helpful. Okay, so I just wanted to break it down to y'all why I don't buy deodorant no more, because some of that stuff may help y'all as well. But let me go ahead and show y'all what I do instead. Let's go ahead and get into this deodorant. I'm going to show y'all 2 ways that I make it. I make a spray and I also make a solid. And just in case you're interested, Just in case you're wondering how long it lasts at least 6 months for me. It lasts at least 6 months. And I only use it once a day, and sometimes I don't even use it. So I only use it once a day. But also what I do want to say is if you have never used a natural deodorant, your body is going to need an adjustment, period, which is why I started my natural deodorant thing back in 2020, because it was like the perfect time. I was working from home. It was a pandemic. I didn't have to worry about being around people and stuff like that. But don't be discouraged if you don't work from home, but do know your body is going to need an adjustment, period. It can take your body up to 60 days to adjust. When I went from your traditional deodorant to the natural deodorant that I bought at the store, the native deodorant that I use, it took my body about 3 weeks to get adjusted. Now, when I went from using the native deodorant, the natural store-bought deodorant, to making my own homemade deodorant, it took my body maybe about 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. Maybe like 10 days. I don't remember exactly, but I want to say it took my body maybe about 10 days to adjust. But yeah, just want to give y'all a heads up in case you're not familiar with that. Don't be like using on day 1, 2, and 3, and you're like, oh, it ain't working. First of all, everybody's body is different, so it's possible that it may not work for you, but you have to give your body at least 60 days to be able to confirm whether it's working for you or not, okay? So please be clear. It can take up to 60 days, 60, for your body to acclimate to your new natural deodorant, okay, y'all? So if you're interested in finding out exactly what I use, my homemade deodorant recipes, a solid and a spray, go ahead and follow me into the kitchen. But first, let me tell you what I just found out. Literally about a week ago, I found out there are 2 alternative methods you can use. I'm going to share them with you really quick before I share what has worked for me for the past year and a half. Now, I can't vouch for them since I haven't personally tried them yet, but I at least want to mention it in case you're interested in giving it a try. And one of those is lime juice. Yes, that's right, just plain old fresh lime juice. I read one testimonial that said it can keep you fresh for 10 hours. However, I do want to mention you have to be careful because citrus on your skin plus direct sunlight can cause a skin reaction called phytophotodermatitis. You can do a quick Google search to learn more about that, but the other one that I heard that works is castor oil. Castor oil with a couple of drops of tea tree oil. Like I said, I haven't tried either of those yet because I just recently discovered those, but that's what I call a good old juices and berries method. But now let's move on to what has been working for me. Let's go. This works for me. I hope it works for y'all. I hope y'all find this helpful. But let's go ahead and get into these natural deodorants. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the solid, and then we're going to get into the spray. Let's go. So the first thing you're going to do is boil some water in a pot. The water only needs to be like 1 inch or 2 high, nothing major. Then you're going to grab a glass bowl that will fit that pot snugly without touching the bottom of the pot. This is called creating a double boiler, and this is what we're going to use to start this solid deodorant. And then to the bowl, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of refined coconut oil. Next, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of raw, unrefined mango butter or shea butter. I'm actually going to add 1 tablespoon of each. Both are really great for the skin. Mango butter is derived from the mango seed, and shea butter is derived from the nut of the shea tree, which is native to Africa. Some of the benefits are both are that they absorb quickly into the skin. They contain fatty acids, which help moisturize and soothe dry, damaged skin. They contain anti-inflammatory properties, help with UV sun ray protection. They also contain anti-aging properties, boosting collagen, preventing wrinkles. And mango butter in particular is known to also help eliminate scars and stretch marks, and also contain wound healing properties. And shea butter is also known for helping with burns, bites, and stings. They both also help treat conditions such as eczema and psoriasis. And so they both are really great for the skin. They contain vitamins and properties that help repair, build, and restore the skin. Next, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of pure beeswax. Not only is this going to serve as our binder, but some of the benefits of beeswax is that they contain anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. They also form a protective layer on the skin that acts as a barrier against environmental toxins. And now you're going to let this sit for a few minutes until it's all completely melted. All right, so after a few minutes, you may have a few beeswax pellets that haven't melted. Just go ahead and stir that in, and boom, it's done. So go ahead and take it off the heat. Carefully remove the bowl from the stove and place it on a heat-safe surface. I recommend using oven mitts because the bowl is going to be hot. And then you're going to grab a measuring cup and your deodorant containers. I have a 2.5-ounce container here. This recipe is actually going to fill 2 of them. Make sure that if your deodorant containers contain holes at the bottom like mine does, as you can see on the inside, you want to make sure you cover that before you fill in your deodorant so it doesn't seep through. So here's an example of my travel size 1-ounce container. You can see the clay that I put at the bottom just to make sure it didn't seep through. So make sure you do that. All right, so grab some vitamin E oil. We're going to add 5 drops. This is going to act as our natural preservative to help prevent those oils from going rancid. Next, you're going to add your essential oils. This is going to depend on the scent that you're going for. I'm going for a tropical smell, so I have a tropical passion blend here, and then I'm going to add vanilla. I find that you do not need no more than 15 max of the drops. I'm actually adding 12 drops of each, but either way, you want to make sure that your essential oils are 100% pure, undiluted, therapeutic grade. You have to make sure that they are safe for your skin. After you add the oils for your scent preferences, you're going to add tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is going to combat the body odor. It contains antiseptic, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. So it is required regardless of the scent combinations that you add. It will not override your smell. I know you probably think it will because tea tree oil does have a strong scent, but I find in the final product when I only add 10 drops of tea tree oil, I do not smell it at all, and it does what it needs to do. All right, so for this final step, you're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of arrowroot powder and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Once you add it, you're going to whisk it quickly until it's nice and smooth and add it to your containers. You need to move quickly because once you add this, the deodorant is going to set quickly because of the beeswax. So you want to make sure you get it into your containers before it starts to harden up. The reason why I want to use arrowroot powder and cornstarch is because they both are going to serve as the absorbers of moisture to help keep your armpits dry. They both have anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, which help prevent redness and inflammation, and they are both non-irritating for the skin. After your deodorant is nice and smooth, quickly pour it into your measuring cup or whatever cup you're going to use that's easy to pour from to prevent spillage, and fill up your deodorant containers. Like I said, this recipe fills up 2 2.5-ounce containers. And remember, if your deodorant containers has holes at the bottom on the inside, make sure you cover those before you pour in your deodorant because you do not want your deodorant to pour out at the bottom. So like I said, I typically use clay, but you can use whatever you find works. So this is it, y'all. So once you fill up your containers, carefully place on the tops and place them in the fridge overnight. This step is important because we want to make sure that the deodorant sets. So place it in the fridge overnight and we'll come back to it in the morning and I'll show you what the final product looks like. Okay, y'all, little tip. Just from my personal experience, the solid used to be, I hated the cleanup because it was a big mess because, like I said, the beeswax would get really hard. But what I did today was I actually reboiled it. So I reboiled the glass pot and then I put my measuring cup upside down just so that heat can get into where it was stuck. And it remelted it. You have to use hot water to spray it. After it was melted, I sprayed it down in the sink with some hot water and some soap, hot soapy water, to get it off and started scrubbing with a sponge. It did not take no extra footwork or anything like that. I'm just saying scrub because you want to make sure you got it all the way off, and it's kind of hard to tell when it's wet. But y'all, that works. So just a tip when it comes to cleaning off that beeswax. Do that. Reboil it if you need to. Reboil it to get it real back melted. You want to bring it back to a melted point. Then spray it down with some hot water and get that soap to scrub it off. And boom, that's it, y'all. All right, now time for the spray deodorant. So the first thing you're gonna need is a 2-ounce spray bottle, but you have to make sure the bottle is glass and it is dark amber. The reason being is because this is a liquid and we're gonna have essential oils in there and we wanna prevent them from breaking down. Then you're going to grab some vodka or gin. For all my non-drinkers out there, you can use a travel size bottle. It's actually perfect for this recipe. I used this the first 2 times I made it, and as you can see, I still have a little bit left. Just to be clear, it covers 1 bottle, but it's the perfect size. This time though, I decided to go organic. I did some research on some companies to see how they process it, and I wanted to make sure it was as clean as possible. So unfortunately, I could only find a big bottle of organic vodka, but I decided to go with this time around. Now y'all, let me just say this. I know y'all probably wondering the same thing that I did when I first started making this was vodka, alcohol. I don't know about that because I'm not a drinker, y'all. But y'all, at the end of the day, after doing my research, I'm like, you know what? I think I need to put this ingredient in there. And also, like I said, it lasts at least 6 months. So imagine this little travel size bottle, which is what I used the first 2 times I made it. This is a personal travel size bottle. Look how much is left in there. And you already know it wasn't filled to the top. We're only using 1/4 a cup. 1/4 a cup spread across 6 months plus. I just went ahead and dealt with it. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I really was kind of iffy about using alcohol because I don't drink like that, y'all. I don't even drink once a year. That's how much I don't drink. Like, if I do, it's gonna be on vacation or something like that. Maybe something cute and fruity. But even that, I don't always do. So like I said, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about putting this vodka or gin in there. But I'm telling y'all, it actually works. It does what it needs to do. But I understand if you don't want to use it. I don't have any substitutes at the time, y'all. Unfortunately, the way I'll use this recipe, it requires these ingredients. But you are feel free to do your research to try to find an alternative without the alcohol, because I did see some recipes with like witch hazel and things like that I didn't want to use. So feel free to do your research, y'all. But yes, we're going to be using alcohol for this recipe. Let's get to it. Let me say this, to help you determine which alcohol you want to use, do know that the proof is important, the alcohol proof. For my non-drinkers out there, that's just the measure of the alcohol content. But this is going to help determine the strength of your deodorant, what type of coverage that you want, whether you want light, medium, or heavy. I'll post it right here on the screen, but do know that that's important. I only use light coverage and it works. But like I said, if it doesn't work for you, give it 60 days before you switch it up and then try the next one. But I recommend starting off light. But once you make your decision, grab your vodka or gin and fill up 1/4 a cup. Next, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of distilled white vinegar. This is going to help fight bacteria. Last but not least, you're going to grab your essential oils. This is going to be based on the scent that you're going for, but regardless, you want to make sure that your essential oils are 100% pure, undiluted, and therapeutic grade. It must be safe for the skin. So y'all, one of my absolute favorite scents is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter. I have loved it since I was a kid. I just love that smell. It's like simple but sweet and clean, and just it just smells so good to me. So that's what I'm going for this time around. I don't know if this is going to work or not. If it does, I'll post the exact measurements below. But what I will post is the scent that I usually make, since I have those measurements down. And that scent is more of like a vanilla creamsicle type of smell, but it has a hint of peppermint. I don't really know how to describe it, but it smells so good, y'all. So I will post that below for sure. As far as how many drops of essential oil to add, like I said on the solid deodorant, you do not need to add no more than 10 to 12 drops of essential oil, max 15 for each essential oil that you use. And regardless of the scents that you create, you are going to need to add tea tree oil. Like I said, the tea tree oil combats body odor. It has antiseptic, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties. So you need to add that. Yes, it has a strong smell on its own, but in the final product, I have not smelled it, and I only add 10 drops of tea tree oil, and it does what it needs to do. Now, after you add your essential oils, give it a quick little stir, grab your glass bottle and your funnel, and go ahead and pour your deodorant into the bottle. So that's it, y'all. It's that simple. And when it comes to storage, you store it in a cool, dry, dark place. I usually store it in my closet. The reason being because, like I said, it's a liquid and it has essential oils, so you want to preserve it as long as possible. And I also recommend that you label it. So I usually put the date that I made it so I can actually see how long it lasts when I run out. And I also like to write the essential oils that I use in case I really liked how that scent turned out, so I remember what I used before. So that's it, y'all, for the spray deodorant. It's that simple. Hey y'all, it's the following morning, and as you know, we put our solid deodorant in the refrigerator overnight, so it should be nice and set now. So I took it out the fridge. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it's nice and set. It's not going anywhere. But I do want to let y'all know you won't be able to roll it up right now because it's so set. You're going to need to sit it out at room temperature in a cool, dry, dark place for a couple of hours until it thaws out a little bit. Do not put it back in the refrigerator. Do not add heat or anything. It literally just needs to sit out for a couple of hours. And then once you're able to roll it up and down, you're good to go from there on out. I've traveled with it. It hasn't melted or anything on me. Y'all, it's good. I love this deodorant and I hope y'all enjoy it as well. But I'll come right back after a couple of hours just to show y'all what it looks like once you're able to roll it up and down. All right, y'all, it's been a few hours. I initially wanted to come back in 1 or 2 hours, but your girl got busy and forgot, okay? But anyway, it's been sitting in my closet, and now it should be nice and thawed out. So I'm just going to roll it up and show y'all that now it will rise. As you can see, you see that deodorant rising. Hopefully you can see it. I know it's kind of blending in with my countertop. And I can roll it back down. Now, don't worry about those edges. Those are going to smooth out over time as you use it, and it actually smooths out fairly quickly, you'll see. But that's it, y'all. Like I said, it's good to go from here. I've traveled with it. I haven't had any problems. I haven't had any melting problems. I haven't had to put it back in the refrigerator or anything like that, y'all. It is good to go. So that's it, y'all. That's how I make my deodorant. So anyways, y'all, I hope y'all find that helpful. Like I said, I love using the homemade deodorant. I'm not going to go back. I absolutely love it. And I see that my body responds to it very well. And it's actually less dependent on deodorant now that I've been doing that. So anyways, y'all, I hope y'all find it helpful. It's your girl, Kia Love. If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up button. That will help spread it to other people so they can find this information out as well. If you want to be notified whenever I post, hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon will ensure you get notified whenever I drop. And also, follow your girl on Instagram. Anyways, it's your girl, Kia Love. Until next time, y'all, peace and love.